our new unit in our online learning. It's a video game unit. You can kind of hear some creepy music in the background. I'm going to go through the different genres of video games, some useful terminology, and then a review on plot. All right? So, when we do our video games, our directions today are every other day you will be assigned to play a game and reflect on it. Below, there are graphic organizers to fill out for each game. This is a living document, so I will be checking this page each day to make sure you are completing your work. You will only need to share this with me on Tuesday, the 4th, or the 28th, and then I will be checking it. I just need you to share it with me. Do you see this little share button? It's blue. I want you to share it with me on Tuesday. That is due on Tuesday for sure. You don't need till Friday to share this with me. All right. Today we're just going to go over some of the assignments and some that you've played. This is both your attendance and your grade, so make sure that you are completing this. The first thing I need you to do is make sure your Flash player is on. You will also need to download Slenderman. But I'm not sure this will work on Chromebooks yet, so this is a big maybe. And I also want to give yourself some time, all right? So sometimes these games are kind of challenging. I want you to keep trying, but not necessarily beat the game, because some of these games, it takes forever, all right? And I will actually go through one of those games with you tomorrow. So some of the games that we're going to be playing are listed right here with these little stars. A Dark Room, Super Meat Boy, Cannabolt, Robot Unicorn Attack, Pandemic, and Slenderman. If you're not going to play Slenderman, I am going to have you reflect on the Coma game that you've already played. Alright, so some key review terms. We need to know what a plot is. A plot is a sequence of events that make up a story. Whether it is told, written, filmed, or sung, a plot is a story. Alright, and all games have some sort of story. Okay, sometimes you have to be a little bit more creative. The next thing is you need to kind of know, I might use these two terms. I might use a user interface, which is a UI, and this refers to what you're going to be using as you're playing your game, okay? Now, we don't have a mouse, so you're going to be using keyboards, so I'm going to say that your user interface might be your arrow keys and your spacebar, okay? Other interfaces are something that you can see to use to accomplish your game. So you might see an inventory screen or like a map screen. A lot of these have like a first person, and this is used throughout the game, and it's for you to interact with. All right. Now today we're going to be going over 5 different types of games that you will be responsible for playing. The first game is a side scroller. The player is going to use arrow keys to move left and right, and it's typically 2-dimensional. So I'm going to press on one of my games. Do you see up here? I'm going to do Robot Chicken Attack, or Robot Unicorn Attack, sorry. And I'm going to show you what you're going to be using, okay? So in order to come into the game, you're going to press Z. Okay, I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Alright, so that's my first one. So I'm using Z and X. So alright, so that is a side scroller, and it's one of the games that you will need to know, and it goes from left to right. It often doesn't let you go back. You are going one direction, and it's 2-dimensional, okay? So for that game, I used Z and X. Z brought me, it let me fly and go faster, and then X gives me a super boost so I can break through some of those barriers, all right? And it's usually a 3-time thing, and then you're done. All right, the next thing is our strategy game, and that's when we played Coma. So I'm going to go back to my Coma game, Do you see me? All right. So this is my arrow keys. You can kind of see me jumping around. I like to hold actually the left arrow key and the up button because it makes me jump and move to the other direction. Right? So I have to go back because I fell. I enjoy jumping. Like I said. I don't know why this always gives me trouble. But it does, because I am incapable of gaming. Just kidding. There we go. Alright. And then I keep going. I have my little goo ball. I'm gonna go say hi to this dude. Yay! Oh, crap. Okay. So that is my strategy game. It tells me clues into what I need. You are going to play a different strategy game called Pandemic, and I'll go into that later when we go into our actual gaming days. All right? So the next one is our first person, and that is what you see most in like shooter games, but in our game we're going to go into Slenderman, okay? Now, this one's really scary for me. I'm not really, I don't know, I'm not really sure why I'm so scared of it, but I usually only get to the first page. There's 8 pages, and you're running through a forest, alright? And you don't want to be caught by Slenderman. He's kind of scary. And this is a free game that you are able to download if you would like. Alright, do you see how I am the person? So I'm just going into the forest, and I can kind of and like I said, I haven't made it very far. The flashlight works best when it's on the ground, but then you can't really see anything in front of you. When Slenderman comes, it's going to be a weird, like, staticky sound, and then it kind of blurs out like an old TV. I don't know if anyone has TVs like that anymore, but they need antennas, and they just kind of get blurry. Alright, so that's first person. And then, great, alright. A platformer is a different type of game when you go up and down. I actually see you play a lot of platforming games when you're with that little bubble thing and you're running and you don't want to fall off that cylinder because it has spots that are open. So, Alright, so they took my little pink square. I'm going to start a campaign. Alright, and this is the one where I'm going to go up and down. And this is one that progressively gets harder each time I play. Alright, so I have to use my space bar. You see I'm meaty and I'm bloody. Alright, so I got her. Great, level complete. Alright, and then it keeps getting a little bit harder. Okay, my level is complete. Oh, do you hear Slenderman? Yeah, I'll get that off there. Okay. Bye, Slenderman. That's the sound it makes. So these... Oh, so I already died. Alright, so I need to keep... I'm actually not very good at these. Alright, now I have my level complete. Again, it goes up in difficulty, so it gets faster. Yep, so that's one that you're actually used to playing. And then this one is the one that we're going to start with. And it's actually something that you might not have played before, and it's called A Dark Room. Okay, so this is a text-based interface, which means it's going to give you coding instead of action, all right? So it's going to be a lot of words. The only thing I can do right now is, you see, I can press light fire, all right? Because the room is freezing, the fire is dead. Now my fire is burning, and the light from the fire spills from the window into the dark, okay? Now, this is all I can do right now is continue to light this fire. My room is cold. I really need to stoke my fire, all right? Because you need warmth in order to survive. Okay, so now it's roaring. Okay, so each time I'm going to be reading this sidebar, and it says a ragged stranger stumbles into the door and collapses in the corner. All right, great. I'm gonna help that stranger. That sounds really crappy. I'm gonna get my fire like stoked for them, and I'm gonna continue to stoke my fire. All right, now it says I can go into the forest, okay? So it's going to be my next stage is I can gather wood, all right? I'm going to still stoke my fire. My fire is roaring. I want to go back and forth to make sure that my fire is helping my people live, and I'm still gathering wood to make sure that I have that. So I only am one person, so this is going to go kind of slow. Each time something adds, I need to know what's going on here, and I need to be able to go to my next pages of texts, all right? I'll go into this more next time, but this is just how we start text-based journals, okay? So that is my job for today. The next thing you're going to be doing is a video journal based off what you've either learned today or what's something that you're interested in. So I actually have to put a box right here. On Thursday, because we're going to do alternate between ATV lessons from Miss Olson, and my lessons are going to be video game based. So your first one is going to go here, and you're going to type the date here, the game played, what is the plot. You're going to go back up and look at my plot. What is the genre? I'm going to go into these. We're only doing 5 different genres in video games. There's actually several more. I'm going to say something that's positive in my game, something that's negative, and some of the elements. What can I do in the game? It's very self-explanatory. If you have questions, I'm here to help you. But other than that, I think we are ready to go.